Hello everyone, welcome back to Tully Talks. Thank you for stopping by. And today we're going to be talking X-Force number 28, part 3 of this Rain Fire storyline that the X-Force team has been facing off against him and the Mutant Liberation Front team. But before we get into it, I hope that I've been able to earn your subscription. If so, please subscribe down below with that red subscribe button. Like, comment, share, hit all of those notification bells, and it'll only help us grow together as a community. This is going to be the second of 3 uploads I'm doing today. But yeah, let's get into it. X-Force number 28, and we see Cable on the cover fighting Rain Fire. If you remember last issue, they're trying to save Peter Gyrick, who was kidnapped by the Mutant Liberation Front, and our team seemed to be on the ropes against everyone that they're facing in the Mutant Liberation Front, especially perhaps seeing an old team member in Danielle Moonstar. But we see here Rainfire basically telling Cable that he's going to basically die there, being he wasn't taking Rainfire up on his offer to join the Mutant Liberation Front. The name of this chapter is called The Axe Falls, written by Fabian Nietzsche, penciler by Antonio Daniel, Kevin Conrad the inker. But let's proceed. Rainfire is pretty much kicking the holy hell out of Cable at the moment, and Cable finally gives this telekinetic punch to get Rainfire off of him, because Rainfire has been really being relentless on him. They're still basically talking about who's on the right side of mutant liberation. Rainfire and his no-holds-barred approach, kill all the humans so mutants can rule, or Cable, where yes, some mutants need to be taken out, some humans maybe need to be taken out, but not every human is against mutants like that. We see Feral, even from last issue, being goaded by Peter Gyrick to kill him so he can be satisfied in knowing that all mutants are basically killers and terrorists. And she's really been trying to hold her patience with that, even though her initial response is to want to kill him, but she's really trying to hold her patience. We can only hope that she's able to continue to hold her patience. We see Shatterstar then now up against last episode of dealing with X-Force I called Wild Side, Wild Child, and that was my mistake, so I'm gonna make a little editor's note now. That character is not Wild Child, but Wild Side. Wild Child is another character in the Marvel Comics that I'm not sure if he's still alive today in 2021 at the time of this recording. But I didn't want anyone getting confused trying to look up these old comic books and wondering why his name is not Wild Child. It's Wild Side, and then Wild Child was on the X Factor team and some other teams. But we see Shatterstar talking with Wild Child because Reaper was defeated in battle, but Siren has basically a knife to her throat, some sort of weapon to her throat, that if Shatterstar makes a move, he's going to take her out. We see Shatterstar pretending that he was going to hit Reaper with his sword, but didn't, and then just decided to give up the sword so Siren can live. And Wildside and Reaper think that they are victorious here, But one thing I did forget about Shatterstar that was revealed in this issue is not only is he very skilled with aerobatics and fighting and cardio and all that other stuff, his mutant ability is to be able to channel energy into the metal of his dual swords there and kind of cause like a burst of energy to come out. And Shatterstar here says that's why I provide myself with a skill set so I don't always have to worry about my mutant ability. And so then you kind of forget about his mutant ability. Like if he's not using it, you kind of will probably forget that he's even a mutant in that regard, or someone that has metahuman strength and abilities and able to let off some sort of energy. If he's just fighting you one-on-one, you're going to forget that. However, I digress. You see Shatterstar here claiming victory over Wildside and Reaper, and then you see Forearm being punched through the wall because he was facing a warpath, and at this point, the X-Force team is starting to get back together, get their second wind to take down these Mutant Liberation Front guys and eventually save Peter Gyrick, even though he wouldn't be worth saving, but they're saving him to prove the point that not all mutants are murderers. We pick up with Sunspot, Cannonball, and Boomer. Cannonball is still knocked out from that psychic arrow that Moonstar gave him from last issue. And Sunspot is basically asking her if she's Daniel Moonstar from the New Mutants. Mirage was her old code name. So they're asking her, what are you doing? If this is you, why are you going against us? Why are you not talking to us? And she winds up hitting Boomer with a psychic arrow too. And we see Tabitha Boomer's fear be of her childhood and how she was treated in her childhood. Sunspot finally has enough and attacks before he's attacked in any sort of way, because at this moment he's kind of the last man standing out of the three of them. And then we see Tempo come in and save Moonstar from the attack. She then appears behind him to attack him and take him out. Our teams just can't seem to really shake these guys loose. We see Moonstar we do see Moonstar saying don't hurt him, so there's some sort of emotional connection there. And it seems then that they were teleported out there. It looked like they were teleported, brisked away somewhere, these group of people. Boom Boom, Cannonball, Sunspot, Tempo, Moonstar. Then we pick up back outside with Gyrick and Feral, still with the "why don't you kill me if you think I'm such a horrible human, and not all mutants are murderers, you stupid human." Then they see an explosion of sorts outside where they're at, because everyone's trying to get back to the ship. We then see basically that it's everyone that was inside the mansion that was fighting, and Feral decides to go and help. But Gyrick basically tells her that he knows what happened to her little brother and sister, that she was the oldest one and ran away, and being he's kind of touching on a touchy subject, a sore subject, she keeps telling him, leave me alone because you don't know how dangerous I can be, and decides to go attack him finally. She finally decides to lose herself and attack him. Tempo does save Peter Gyrick from Feral. She's asking her what's going on, weren't you just trying to kill him yourself? Tempo responds by saying, I didn't want to kill him, I just wanted to kidnap him to scare him into changing his policies. We see Moonstar getting kind of roughed up a bit through getting thrown into the air. And then everyone is realizing that this is getting a little out of control, this fight. So the team is then trying to figure out, let's just get Gyrick out of here and everyone out of here. We see Cable finally getting teleported back outside, kind of in the general vicinity where the rest of the teams are interacting with each other, and we still see Rainfire kind of still on this path of, you're refusing us, even though you said you'd do anything for mutant kind. If you were going to do anything, you should join us. And Cable's still kind of like, no, there's more than one way to do this. And then Rainfire happens to call him by Nathan Dayspring, and this takes Cable back a bit because that is his birth name, and being that this is the first time they're meeting, Rainfire and Cable, how would he know what his birth name is? Finally, we see Siren kind of taking out Rainfire a bit with her sonic scream. Her father, the Banshee, also has a similar power, if not the same power. Everyone is trying to recoup their sides. Cable is asking her to sonic scream the brush away so he can see where everyone is at. And then you get this panel here of everyone fighting. Let me try to get all of that in there because I know these artists really most artists try to really showcase that talent's there. And I want that to show through as well. That's one of the great things about comic books. You get deep conversations and animation in a way. Farrell is still trying to kill Henry Gyrick. Tempo is still protecting him. We see Rainfire come out and call Tempo a traitor. We see Peter Gyrick calling her Heather, because again she's trying to save him from not only Rainfire now and Farrell. We see kind of the rest of the team still kind of fighting a little bit, but it begins winding down, and Rainfire asks Farrell basically if she wants to join him, because it doesn't seem like she's reaching her full potential here. Cable and Siren here are basically telling him to get away from her. This is definitely not going to be over until one of these guys takes the other out. But Cable's really not wanting to kill anybody. We see Moonstar up here, still talking to Tempo about, looks like we're getting out of here. Sorry that I got touchy with you earlier, but it's been a tense day. We see Siren getting hit. We see Rainfire trying to take Farrell and Gyrick away. And as a way to escape, he drops Henry Gyrick so they can escape, because he knows X-Force is going to try to save him from falling. Sunspot finally gets annoyed and refuses for Rainfire to go away. He said, not after everything that we've been through. I can't just let Moonstar get away with this, Rainfire get away with this. So he goes up, uses his solar powers to fly for the first time. And then as he saves Gyrick, he goes up and he basically goes some sort of supernova and blows himself up and everybody up. But we really don't know if the Mutant Liberation Front teleported out of there or not. We don't know anything. And then we see Peter Garrett drop into the water, X-Force going to get him from the water, and Peter Garrett basically being a jerk still and saying he's even more convinced that Cable and his X-Force team is is a group of terrorists. That's pretty much the last part of this particular storyline. I do have issue 29, which I think I might review in a few days, and that would be the last X-Force issue that I would review for the time being. I think they go against the X-Men villain Arcade, and we might learn a little bit more if Sunspot really is dead. Did Farrell really join the Mutant Liberation Front on her own, or was she asked to do that as a spy? Is Danielle Moonstar a spy for Cable? We don't know. We just know that at this present time that things aren't looking too good for some of the members of X-Force. Thanks again for stopping by, guys. It means so much to me that I'm part of your day. Don't forget that once we reach 25 subscribers, we'll be doing a giveaway. You just have to be subscribed, and there's really nothing else to it. And you'll get yourself a nice few issues from my stash. So come on, let's get this going, guys. We're 10 subscribers away from 25, so we can do this. We are the Tully Talkers, the Tully Talk Tribe. Come on, let's go. But until next time, guys, thank you for stopping by with me. And as always, peace, Snookums.